I was in Space Monkey Alliance.
Yep, me too. Because was it you that said you recognised my corp name the other? Somebody asked me what corporation I was in. And I said who I was in, and they were like, "Oh, I recognise that," but I was in Space Monkeys Alliance.
Yeah, it might be one of the corps. I don't know. My corp was called Internet Terrorists.
Oh man, I know Internet Terrorists.
They were the ones that caused a lot of drama, and that caused a lot of drama with I Want ISK.
Yep.
My only claim to fame back when we had that, was it like 2000 theft going on?
I don't know. Oh, do you mean that massive theft of,
like there's a guy that essentially guy forked his way up to like the upper echelon of all the corporations, and then one dark night on like a Tuesday,
yeah, I remember
stole
that
like
story.
$2,000 worth of things.
I read into that story.
It was fucking amazing.
That's even possible.
It was fucking amazing.
Were you with Internet Terrorists when we got kicked out of Fade?
You mean when SMA got completely overrun?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of there, but I was on my way to exit this entire shit.
Man, that was such a shitty.
I was jumping through all of those systems to HiSec those last days where Space Monkey Alliance was there, and I had a bunch of shit with me.
Yeah.
But I got out.
I was like one of the last people that was still there fighting the Entosis. I think we were the last corporation in SMA to leave. Because we didn't really have a lot of stuff back then. I didn't have a lot of ships, and the stuff that was there was not much chance of getting it out unless I packed it all into a jump freighter. So we just decided to just fight as long as we could every single night. But Jesus Christ, those days, unbelievable. The highlight of those days for me were we were doing like some Entosis up in Nero 1Y for Space Monkeys Alliance, and there was a fleet of like 300 SMA dudes, and they got wiped out. So we got told to dock up in this station. They said, "Don't worry, because goons have got a 2,000-man fleet that are coming to save you." And we were like, "Oh, okay." So we just sat drinking cups of coffee, talking to each other on TeamSpeak in this station. Half an hour later, we get a message saying, "Sorry, all 2,000 goons have been killed. You're on your own." It was fucking absolutely ridiculous. Those enemies that turned up, like psychotic tendencies and all those, all of them. on that night, there was 8,000 of them in the systems, and they were trying to get us out. I was like, nah, just forget it.
Yeah, it was a great collective of people.
Yeah, but that was the thing. Like Eve lived on his community, and it just.
Yeah, but I still think at least half of that amount of people were paid by fucking I Want ISK.
Oh yeah, more than that. Nearly all of them were paid by I Want ISK.
Yeah, and that's what actually pisses me off, because the casinos were not allowed to have any political influence. But they did that because of drama in SMA. Because of one moron that did something wrong.
Yeah, I mean, he was an epic moron.
What was he called? I don't remember the name, but he was stealing assets and money from internet terrorists, and actually
the guy who's
a lot of those
was also doubling as I Want ISK. What were they called? The money giving people.
Yeah.
The thing is, there's been so many of these like asset heists over the years that it's hard to keep track of which is which.
Yeah, I know, but that one was just so much drama at the end, because he
was an I Want
ISK banker, and also stealing assets from there, and also stealing assets from I Want ISK, kind of.
The guy who was head of SMA. I'll try and find an article that a friend sent me and link you to it. But I was in like Code Monkeys, which was like the developers that helped Space Monkeys out. So I helped write all the software that Winit used and everything, and the software that connected to I1ISK.
You wrote some bullshit about that. When you click like a button, you get refurbished for your little fighter thing, intercept and whatever.
Yeah. But because I was like quite high up and I was talking to Winit every night and everything, I got in. I found out all that sort of stuff. But the stuff that was public was kind of hilarious and sad at the same time. But the stuff that remained private, holy shit, dude! Not only were they like mucking around with I1ISK and robbing their own corporations, but the guy actually slept with another person in SMA's wife. And then they started doxing each other and publicly like posting who that person was.
I've actually heard about that.
Yes, and one guy lost his job, and another guy was getting like death threats in real life.
I heard about the death threats and the doxing, but I don't know why it started.
Yeah, it literally broke up a marriage, and like 2 people lost their jobs. So,
oh god, I love Eve.
But that's what was so amazing about EVE Online. Led in. Like I don't know how many times it's just like you'd have people that would almost meet up to club each other over something completely arbitrary.
Yeah.
And that was just part of this charm with EVE Online. Like it was just, but that was like again, the community is just what made the game amazing.
Well,
like,
I just actually want to do some wormhole stuff in EVE, but.
We're living in a wormhole was amazing in the beginning.
Yeah. Finding one that is unoccupied and doesn't get raided every
but back when they first introduced it was amazing. You would go in and then you would have carry, like you're always looking for a hole that could take through all your stuff, so you didn't have to leave anything behind.
Yeah.
It was an amazing way to live for like a couple of months.
The problem is now we have all of those what are they called, like tools to map out wormholes.
It was fun when it was because you were essentially going like where no man had gone map territory. Like it was terra incognita. That's why it was so amazing.
Did you read about what happened to Hard Knocks in the wormhole?
No.
So Hard Knocks. I don't know when you guys stopped playing, but were you around when the Keep Stars and everything?
I stopped playing late 2008.
When what started?
Right, so you know you had the posses and the stations. Well, they brought in actual structures that the players themselves
could. The citadels.
Yeah, citadels and everything. So the biggest one that they have is called a Keep Star, and you can actually dock a Titan and a supercarrier, and it's massive, and it's a huge amount of work to build one. You literally like. Goons have got like 50 of the things because they're just broken, but for a normal corporation it would take you like 6 months and you have to gain so many well, Hard Knocks built a Keep Star in a wormhole.
Oh damn, okay.
It took them like 6 months to get all of the materials in there, and then they secretly had to build a structure that could then build the Keep Star, and then they had to anchor it, and they had to do it without people knowing, because when you place it in space for like an hour it's vulnerable and anyone can attack it. But they built a Keep Star in a C5 wormhole, and then everyone said, well, that's it, game over for wormholes, because no one's ever going to be able to. And
C5?
In a C5, yeah, they took a C5 as their home with static other C5 exits, so they had a Keep Star that they could build all their ships and keep them all safe, and they could just roam into everybody else's wormholes and destroy them. So for 2 years, Hard Knocks ruled the wormholes. They actually rented wormholes out, and if you didn't pay them rent, they'd just come and evict you. So everyone said, that's it, wormhole, game over. This is why I still love EVE to this day, because I like the strategy side, but basically one of the subgroups of Goon Swarm decided they were going to kill the Keep Star in the wormhole. But obviously to kill a Keep Star you need like hundreds of dreadnoughts, titans, capital ships, things like that.
You can't all bring them through one wormhole.
No, you can only get like one dreadnought through a wormhole, then it collapses. So they actually formed up about middle of this year, got 600 people online, logged in, got dreadnoughts, managed to kill the whole of Hard Knocks and the Keep Star, and then evict them from the wormhole, and then they post on Reddit how they did it, and it was over a year-long operation to get the ships into the wormhole.
They always found entrances and just brought in like one ship and then hit it.
Yeah. For an
Oh,
entire
Jesus.
year, they were rolling wormholes to find an entrance into Hard Knocks C5. Would take one dreadnought through and then log it off and just leave it there. And then they were doing that, and then they'd get a bigger transport ship in, and then they anchored their own structure where it couldn't be found. But they spent an entire year on a strategic
The fucking logistics behind that.
Yeah. They said there was like 400 people were involved for nearly a year on just the logistics side, moving ship part, moving ammunition, moving players into there. It's absolutely.
Yeah, but again, that's what made Eve so amazing. Because those things are, again.
Like friends and I only managed to get a small citadel thing up.
Yeah.
And we got raided by some Russians. And well, that's
yeah. We did it back when they first opened. I think we managed to have like a carrier and then a couple mining vessels and a small tower to stay safe in, and then you just kept rotating through the holes. And then you were staying there for like a couple months, and then you would exit out and unload all your resources for the tier 3 cruiser things. And then go back in.
A friend of mine also built a rock hull in a wormhole once, before all those citadel things were a thing.
Yeah, the rock hull. When they, as we said earlier, like when they brought the rock hull out for mining, it just.
Yeah, but in a wormhole, that is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, but just generally, when you deploy that thing, like have unlimited money.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I love the game, but I don't think I can go back to it because I don't think any of the people I was playing with are still playing, and what kept it alive is the community.
Yeah, all the people I used to play with still play, and bizarrely, one of them was a beta tester. He started playing pre-2000.
What?
Yeah, so he's on like the
he must be in love with that game.
Yeah, the corporate. You'll know the corporation because we're in SMA, League of Gentlemen.
The thing you have to remember about EVE Online is that
I mean, like, SMA had many corps.
Oh yeah, I know, but it's like they were one of the guy who founded their corp was a beta tester before it went public, and the corporation's the oldest active corporation in EVE now, and 3 of the guys I think that are still there and are still on nearly every weekend when I'd log on randomly have been there since the beta. So 16 years.
Yep.
I think the like leader of my corporation has got something like 380 million skill points or something on his main character, and he's got 6. But I don't know how to do it, to be honest. I log on occasionally and I just play around for half an hour, and I can't find anything to do, and I just get.
But it becomes a lifestyle for some people. It becomes a second life.
Yeah.
That's what made it amazing, because people got invested, so they actually cared about what went on. But it also meant that if you weren't as invested, you got left behind very quick, and you didn't connect with any of them because you were living they were essentially like living a second life, and you were playing a game.
Yeah, at the peak of like after all of the war and everything ended, and then we moved around. The next big like conflict that we got into, I would for probably 6 months I was playing about 50 hours a week, so I was playing more EVE Online than I was doing my actual.
Oh yeah. Like when we were doing the Northern Conflict, I would often get up once or twice in the middle of the night to either fuel a tower or do some kind of stealth cargo run through enemy territory with like ammo and all the like material. So you like the biggest we've done is that we flew an Orca through a 12-jump gauntlet in the middle of the night on a Tuesday morning. It was fucking nuts. But it it became a second life when you were committed, because you often spend as much as if not more hours in the game, and it was at all times of the day. It was But I mean, the game was amazing, but it just I stopped because I stopped in late 2008, second that I was paying for.
Let's see. I started when Drakes were the best thing ever, and I stopped when SMA got completely overrun. I even quit SMA before it happened.